Hey there all, I just came back from the barbershop. And I want to thank HorrorMacabreCrazy for the contest he's doing right now. And congratulate him on getting 100 subscribers. Right there with you, buddy. So this is a video contest entry for HorrorMacabreCrazy's 100 subscriber contest. Really cool. Love the hard boxes. I've never had a hard box in my entire life. And really hoping to win one because really I've always won one. So there's 3 questions, right? And number 1 is, what is my favorite horror movie of all time? That is one of the hardest things to ask a horror fan, to choose one. But the one that stands out for me, I guess, in a lot of ways, is probably God, I want to say Halloween Once They Dawn the Dead. But I want to have something. I want to have a unique answer, something different. But what horror movie is my favorite? What do I keep going back to? It's a good question. It's a really good question, actually. And it doesn't matter how many times it's asked. Depending on the mood you're in, I think if you're a real horror fan, it's going to end up being different. But for me, favorite horror movie of all time. Dude, this is like the hardest of the 3 questions you're going to ask me to tell you right now. I am going to have to go with, I'm stumped. But, for a horror movie, all time, Silent Night, Deadly, no, not Silent Night, oh my god, I can't believe I almost said Silent Night, Deadly Night. That would have been totally horrible. Black Christmas. I love the movie Black Christmas. And, it's always been one of my favorites. It was one of the true groundbreaking slasher films of all time. It really, really did the POV style extremely well. The murders were not overly, there weren't a lot of killings in the original Black Christmas. But what was done extremely stylish. Bob Clark is a chameleon of a director that can go from like teen sex comedy to horror to like just funny stuff to really gripping Sherlock Holmes thriller. And Black Christmas was one of those that really stood out for me. It's one that I keep coming back to. It's one I watch every Christmas, and I watch every once in a while just when I want to see something like very different, very stylized. Next up was my favorite scene in a horror film, and that does come from Black Christmas, actually, because my original choice for my favorite horror film was probably going to be Phantasm, because I really like the stylization of it. But there's a scene in Black Christmas with, well, if you haven't seen the movie right now, and spoiler alert, but come on, it came out in 1974. I'm guessing everybody's seen it. Margot Kidder's character is killed with a glass unicorn that's on her by her nightstand. And while she's being killed, and she's being stabbed, the unicorns, there's children singing carols outside. And it kind of like goes back and forth between her death and the innocence of the children singing the carols, and that always stuck with me for some reason. Really, it's chilling, and the scene with the eye a few minutes later when the eye is peeking out of the closet, was definitely one of the most chilling scenes in the film. But this one here, it was as probably as Dario Argento would probably put it, it's what you call a beautiful kill. It's horror at its most magnificently beautiful, and that's what I liked about it. It's different. The camera work was incredible in that sequence. I love the way that they mirrored the 2 concepts, and yeah, that's the one that stood out for me when I was a kid. It still stands out to me right now as to this day. Still would love to be a budding filmmaker. I've written stuff, and who knows, maybe one of these days I'll actually film something in Morocco. So, if I do, guys, it's going to be horror. Next up was the worst horror movie I've ever seen in my life. And my better half can probably guess what I'm about to say. A lot of people that have watched my channel for a while can probably guess the movie that I'm about to say right now. And, hands down, the worst horror film I've ever seen. It took me 3 or 4 tries to get through the entire film. I mean, I wasn't able to sit through it the first couple times that I watched it. It was just that inane and boring and stupid and laughable, and not even in the good Mystery Science Theater laughable way. And this is one that gets a lot of love online from some people, but this director, and I use this term extremely loosely, just tends to have a favorite following that I really don't understand. I mean, I liked a couple of his early things that he did when they're original, but this film here, no, not so much. And that would be Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie. Did you know it?
Yes.
She knew it, yeah. Halloween 2 is probably one of the worst films we've ever seen. The acting is atrocious. The characters bear little resemblance to the characters in the first film that he did, and that one wasn't the greatest, but I could sit through that one. There was some likable parts in that. The characters basically just were completely different. The suffering mother is suddenly this Mrs. Voorhees type of ghost character. There's a white horse that's ridiculous. Soundtrack, still good soundtrack for the movie, but overall the movie itself, acting was fairly laughable. I felt really bad for Danielle Harris having to do this film. I felt really bad for Taylor Scout Compton. I felt extremely bad for the actor that played Michael, because he deserved to be doing better stuff than this. Hell, his Sabretooth was at least a step up from this film. This film sucked ass. The cinematography wasn't great. That was downright bad. The most laughable scene in this movie, and it made me turn it off, I think maybe not once but twice, is at the beginning of the film. There are 2 ambulance attendants. So they are driving with Michael Myers when a cow, I kid you not, a cow jumps in the middle of the road and he hit a cow. And this is how he makes his big escape. A cow. He hit a cow, and then the actor playing the living, still alive ambulance attendant gets to make his infamous soliloquy. And it goes like this. I'm not the thespian that he is, but I'm going to try and channel that. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. 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 Brilliant writing. Brilliant bloody writing. Thank you, Rob Zombie. I was hoping that you could white trash it a little bit more. And could the kills be more laughable than the nurse in the hospital? And this is the best part of the film, the hospital sequence. We think, hey, maybe he's going to do a Halloween 2 like the hospital one. He makes you get a little bit hopeful. And then there's a scene where Michael kills the nurse. And he stabs her in the back. And he stabs her. And he stabs her. And he stabs her. And it's supposed to be brutal. But by this time, guys, I'm giggling. Because he just keeps stabbing. I mean, it's not scary now, Rob. It's not even brutal. It's brutal, but it's not brutal in the way that you want it to be brutal. It's just bloody painful to watch. That's my 3 answers. I guess the third one I got on kind of a rant there. So yeah. Original Black Christmas. Unicorn murder sequence from the original Black Christmas. Worst movie of all time, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And hey, let's just be happy he didn't go ahead and do that remake of the Blob he was going to make. You know, the one he was going to do with that. He wanted to change it up a bit and get that Blob thing out of it. What the hell? Anyway, if you watch my channel, you know what time it is right now. I got a wedding to go and attend in a couple hours. I'm not much of a wedding guy, but here it goes. It's time for tea, and hopefully I'll have tea at the wedding as well. If not, well, it'll be time for wine and later tea. Thanks a lot, and congrats on 100 subscribers. Hope to see hundreds more there, and lots more videos come from you, HorrorMacabreCrazy. Hope you enjoyed this one. Cross my fingers because I've never had a hard box in my life and would love to have one. Thanks all guys, and hey, I'm all shaven and stuff now. I'm not got like an office anymore, so time for tea.